I don't think you. I think you went home.
I went home. I just couldn't stop at third.
I do. I remember you hit the gas.
So you know the people in guest book to say, oh, if it wasn't his team, would it be bitching? You know what? No, I would be. Maybe I would be angry or frustrated, but you know what? I'm angry either way. You don't do that to the game. You just don't do it.
All right. I'm gonna again. That's you. What I want to write here. What I wrote down before you even called was.
People saying guest book that I would be upset if it wasn't my team. No, you're wrong. I would still voice my opinion like Elliot Mann did. I respect that shit.
This whole thing here that's going on.
The reason why we're giving you the time, Jeffrey's going to tell you in a minute, is because of...
Now, what's your opinion, Stephen? What do you think is fair?
All right.
You're next. You tell me.
All right, Barry, I made a couple of points. You weren't listening because you were calling into the show. Jeffrey and I disagree. My opinion was that if Nathan started the game, it's a different approach than whether he sat him from the beginning. Therefore, the results on the other field don't mean anything. Meaning, if Nathan doesn't start the game, Lewis's approach from game 2 is one thing. Right or wrong, whether he's allowed to do it is not the question.
I think what happened was he saw that we didn't do our part by losing one game.
Let me finish.
You didn't do your part by losing one game. You know, guys.
Let me finish,
we
Barry.
Failed. Now we have to fail for them.
Barry,
we want to be the bad guys to do what they were planning to do.
Let me just finish for a second. What I'm trying to say is, it comes down to, I agree with you in the sense that I wouldn't have played Nathan if I was Lewis from the first start of the game. And for Lewis's defense, and then your defense was I definitely wouldn't have pulled him midway through. That is just awful. But,
Barry, we're going to have to move on here.
No, I want to say one thing.
Okay, go. You guys have last parting words to Barry and to be before we go. Barry, if you need the floor before we hang up on you, we can give you the floor one more time.
Sammy's going to speak, and then Lewis is going to give a final time.
Barry, I have been on the phone for the last 24 hours about just hearing different opinions from so many different...
that was me.
So many different people giving their opinions. Based on what I heard from people that were in the game, they didn't by any means throw the game, make errors, not try and hit, not play the field. They were trying their hardest. They were trying to win. Pulling Nathan, I agree. Obviously, they didn't try and win. I mean, do all their best that they could to win, but they didn't throw the game. And that's the difference, I think, between...
Well, you guys are real good politicians, all 4 of you. It is what it is. It doesn't matter. And I just pulled, the guy who's
Barry,
out of the guest book, and I think the league has to hear me speak. I'm not going to hide behind a keyboard. It happened. Yes, they had every right doing what they did. They have a great record. It is what it is, and we have to move on. That's all.
Barry, I think in the overall picture is Stop and Go earned the right to do whatever they need, whatever they did, because
there's 2 different things. You earned it.
Nobody's
Second, it's very. It seems that we have to bear your issues. You can't put your issues on our backs. We wanted to enjoy ourselves yesterday in game 2, and we did. And it's not like we tanked the game. We did try. It's just that we didn't have our A team out there. We didn't have our A team out there because we didn't need to. We didn't need to, and because of that, you suffered a consequence. But you were in that position.
Right.
We didn't put you in that position. You put yourself in that position, and it's unfair to take your issue and put it on our backs. Barry, I still love you, honey.
Thanks for the call.
Thanks for calling. We appreciate your time.
George,
Thank you. I have one last thing to say about Barry Anthony before we move on to the next topic. This guy, I've been playing this league for a long time, and I never knew Barry before softball came around, so I know him, I guess, for about 7, 8 years now. The #1 classiest guy, stand-up softball player and stand-up competitor you're going to find in the league. For him to be this heated, it means something, and you can see how important he takes these things to heart, and he's a competitor, and all he wants to do is win. So props to Barry for that, but at the end of the day, I think that...
I agree with what you're saying. Barry's,
I think that Stop and Go didn't do anything morally wrong that they deserve a punishment for.
One tip for Legend Leasing, here's your chance now. You're playing RFG, you're going to be heavy favorite in the 4-5 game. Obviously, don't look past that game.
Go win.
You know what? If you do look past that game, you got Lewis sitting right in front of you.
Right.
And you got a huge matchup there, and obviously something we all would love to see. Barry, Teddy, Zool going up against Lewis and company for that heated matchup.
Could we just be clear here what Barry lost out because of you guys losing game 2? Had you won game 2 and you beat Ike Mala's team,
That means Legend Leasing would have moved up to the 2-3 game.
right? And they
And
would have
then-
been in the semifinals already.
Right.
And not even have to face Navy until the finals.
Correct.
Gotcha. Now,
But
they
that
have
also
to beat
pushes
RF.
Ike Mala in the 4-5 game, and in all likelihood, Mala would have to play Lewis, which Lewis didn't want, and I don't blame him. So,
I think let's make this the final thing. I do understand their issue. It's an issue that they have. It's their issue. It's a league issue, but I don't think we did anything wrong.
Got it.
all right,
I
let's
think.
move on.
Well, I know we want to
Commissioners
move off on
don't.
this topic,
Commissioners, no.
but the question is, in the future, something like this, what is the right thing to do?
It's not a.
I'll say
It's
it.
not
Can I say the
a.
words? It's not a preventable.
It's not
Thing
Nothing
something
you can do about it. You can't
it's-
say the guys weren't trying hard. You can't say there was an error on purpose.
No, no, no.
It's-
You're the
you
captain of a team.
Yeah.
You're in the same position Lewis is in.
Okay.
What do you do?
Honestly, I probably would have done almost exactly what Lewis did, but I'm going to tell you what the difference I would have done was. First of all, I wouldn't have moved around my position players. That's a little extreme. I wouldn't have moved I wouldn't have started Nathan from the beginning. Jeffrey and I disagree on that point, but
But I agree with what you're saying now. I
Right.
agree with. I disagreed before
right.
about a different time.
Now you
but
agree.
now, no. Meaning, if it was my team,
Right.
I also wouldn't have started Nathan.
I wouldn't have started Nathan.
What am I
But I
gaining?
also wouldn't have put Farka at second base. I wouldn't have put this guy
I
in
might
the
have.
outfield.
I might have.
Why?
Halfway
That's
through the
showing
game.
up the opponent. And just one last thing.
What do
on
you
the
think,
topic.
Brett? Is that turn?
Let me just finish. What happened in our game 2? What happened in our game 2? A perfect example. Both games didn't mean anything.
It didn't mean anything to anyone.
Right.
If we would have prevented someone from getting a playoff spot, I don't think I would have done that.
I press the button. It's not that difficult.
Salim. It's gotta be Salim.
BKS show.
Can you, the caller? Can you please turn off the volume in the background?
Hang on.
Yeah, you got it. You turned it off in the background.
Yeah, so,
Thank you. Who's speaking?
Salim.
Salim,
Shahud.
Salim the Dream.
what's going on?
Hey Salim, what's up, man?
You do not sound happy, Salim.
I don't know how happy I am, but, am I on the air?
You're alive.
Alright,
Don't say anything dirty.
first things first, let me just make this point. Lewis did absolutely nothing wrong, and I'm going to tell you why. It's simple. There's not one team in the entire league that would not have done the same thing.
agree.
And it's a simple mathematics game. It's either you're going to face A.B. Cohen and Ike Mala to get to the championship, or you're not. And that's the math of it. And he did the math, and they didn't throw anything.
So you're
And we had
saying
to
he did it on
face them
purpose?
3 times, and wound up getting 2 runs in that second game. With nobody out, at least one time, if I remember correctly. They played hard, they just didn't have their best pitcher on the mound, and that was it.
Right. So it seems like we're all getting to that point. Whereas about 10 hours ago, most of the league was in agreement that Lewis should be hung at the stake and removed from the league for life.
A lot of those voices are legendary.
I would have done the same thing that Lewis did. That's all I have to say.
Whoa! Oh, wait. Hold on, Salim. Would you have started Nathan?
Would I have started Nathan? I probably wouldn't have started him, no.
Right. That's a big difference.
That
though.
is a
I
big
think that's a big topic that we've been discussing, Salim. Jeffrey and I both had different takes on this, and now we're starting to feel that if Nathan would have not started the game from the beginning, no results in hand from the other games, it would have changed matters.
Yeah, but you know something? They earn the right to do whatever they want.
That we know. That we all agree on.
You know, what would have been better if they just forfeited the game and walked away? No, they did the right thing.
Jeffrey's got a question for you. Hang on.
Salim, are you being completely objective here, or are you saying that Lewis?
I'm being completely objective.
Or are you saying that Lewis did nothing wrong because now you're in the 2-3 game?
It has nothing to do with that. Because you know something? If I were on the other side of it, I would sit there and look at my performance the whole season and say that our team put ourselves in that position. Doesn't matter what Lewis's team did.
So,
I would have been upset. You would have been upset.
You
No?
actually, if you earn the number 1 spot, you get to pick who you play.
You would have been burning though if you were Legend Leasing. I mean, right or
I would
wrong.
not, I'm sorry, I would not be burning because you know something? I would have done the same thing they did.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you would have been upset.
All right, I think we exhausted the topic. Let's
Yeah.
move on. Salim, what do you think about the upcoming semifinal matchup against ABCO? We haven't seen you guys since week 1. ABCO's a completely different team now. What do you think?